Oh yes. Mini EV. No longer looks like an EV. Looks like any other Mini. That's nice. Hello. I'm in the Mini. The Mini EV. To be more accurate. Okay, I've been trying to figure out how to reduce the regen for the entirety of yesterday, and I still couldn't figure it out. I tried to go into all the systems, like car, blah blah, and all that, okay, menu, and then I twist to the left, and then I go down, I go to car, mini, and then I try to go into every single thing. And up till now, I guess I'm getting dumber and dumber because I just couldn't figure out how to reduce the regen. There must be a way because I'm not a single pedal driving guy. Yeah, I'm not a one pedal driving guy. Now, I used to own a Mini. Me and my wife, we used to have the R56 generation Mini Clubman. We absolutely adore it. Not so much the roughness of the engine. That one has the Prince engine, the BMW and Peugeot joint venture, which sounds like a rough going English bulldog kind of. Yeah. This one, however, is silent. Yeah, absolutely silent. EVs, really. I'm still gonna say this again. If you drive your car daily, in and out of office, you know where you're gonna bring the car. Send the kids, grocery, office, home, grocery, kids, tuition. EV is the best in all these applications, right? Of course, you should have your long distance driver, which is like a Vellfire or a Carnival. With the entire family, you go for road trips all the way to Penang, and then you decided to change your mind. You want to go to Kuantan, or you want to cross into Thailand. Yep, that would be that car, right? It's the same as you may have a small fridge next to your office desk where you only put some beers and whatnot in it, champagnes probably. And then you have your full-fledged fridge with your vegetables, your meat produce, your milk cartons, your leftovers from last week. That would be your huge Panasonic, or Hitachi refrigerator. So for those people who complain about EVs not having the range, blah 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 blah, probably if you can only afford one fridge, it's best not to buy the mini bar fridge for your home use. You get what I mean? So that's that. How's the Mini like? I mean, it has the characteristics of Mini. Lovely cabin, feels special. I mean, if you want to go into entry level premium, going Mini is the stylish option. It's arguably more stylish than, not arguably, it is more stylish than the 1 Series or even the 2 Series Grand Coupe. Of course, those offer more practicality. I just find it just feels special. Yeah, you have your manual seats, but that also fits into the character of Mini, So I absolutely adore Minis. I mean, I don't mind pulling the seats myself and all that. I also do not mind, even though I wonder why the LCD screen is not mounted in the middle. It bothers me. I am someone who look at a signboard, I can tell whether the kerning of the text is correct or not. But this is just off to the left. I have no idea why. It's just weird. It shouldn't. but it is. So, but it's a Mini, so I'm like, okay, I'll let you go away with it, you know. So the car is quiet. I know the range sucks on paper. 124 km. I'm at 75% battery charge, and it tells me I have 124 km left. But you look at the car. Just look at the car. The size of the car. The rear seats are tiny. It's a 2-door everyday runabout. So in a lot of markets, people buy their EVs according to their needs. I have a friend or a viewer or an Evo Club member from Switzerland, right? He owns a Kia Soul that has like 160 km range, and it's a smaller battery. Presumably it will cost him less when he needs to replace it, presumably, if they still make it, if it fits anyway. And for him, say it's enough for him to just go to work and back home, you know. It's his daily runabout. So, but the thing is, people equate how much you pay for how much you get. So, in that sense, which is people who can only afford one refrigerator, of course they want the largest refrigerator. It doesn't make sense for them to buy a small refrigerator that costs the same as a big refrigerator. But again, EVs don't target you for time being. No. And especially Malaysians. Why? Malaysia has one of the highest number of car ownership per household in ASEAN. Or the highest. Okay? So Malaysians, on average, even if you are, you know, you live in the Bangsapuri or B40, you have 2 cars at home. Right? That is Malaysian. We have a lot of cars. Anyway, back to how this car drives. It is nippy, but the steering doesn't feel like the Mini that I know of. You know, this steering is 100% vague. It doesn't load up. It just, I mean, it's just a tighter version of a super light, no frill kind of car. Suspension, body control wise, yes, it's there. It's still a Mini, so it's fun. I mean, it's more fun than a BYD Ado or a Aura Good Cab. Okay, and in terms of interior, even though it isn't as flashy as the Chinese makes, it does have its, you know, its intrinsic, very European design, stylish, that Mini thing going on. I really don't like the regen. It offsets my weight transfer when I'm cornering. When I'm turning, I lift off the throttle, the whole thing regens, and it sort of dips to the front. Not the way I want it to flow. So I'm sure there is a way, just that I'm not the brightest. Would I get a Mini EV? I mean, if I'm infinitely rich and I just want a small runabout that is stylish and cool looking, yeah, why not? I would just pop into Mini and ask them to sell me one, and then I'll bring it home. You know, these people don't look at used cars, right? They don't look at it at all. They just want to buy new. They want to buy their own. They do not like other people's saliva on their steering wheel, other people's liquid or whatever juice on their car seats. Yeah, it's not crazy expensive, but it is if you are judging by the range, right? So same as the MX-30, range versus money, it doesn't make sense. Okay, MX-30 is more practical than this. This one is just really a stylish runabout. Think of those electric scooters that people buy and just whizzes around. Well, this one has 4 seats, covered, and you know at the back of your head, you cannot take your electric scooter all the way to Sekenjang. Alright, that's the same thing. So, yeah, for city drive, easy to park, I mean, stylish looking, you bring your handbag, you dress up, you know, you look the part with your car. If you have a young daughter, I mean, I'm talking those family where they have 2 Mercedes-Benzes and 1 Velfire and all that, okay? They want to get a small car for their daughter to drive around to college and back home and all that. This is also perfect, right? And another thing, ladies don't like to go petrol stations. They just don't like to go petrol stations. They look at the gun. How many person have touched the gun? How many person touch it day in and out? The smell of petrol station, the vulnerability that you feel when you step out from your car, you know, in your mini skirts or your thin blouse, standing there with your credit card, your wallet out and all that. No ladies enjoy petrol station visits, but they have to nonetheless, okay? So these are all the things that aren't related to range that has something to do with EVs. All these, okay? So I get it. I can have my V12 at home, my 4-liter V8 twin turbo, but for things like these, I prefer EV. To be honest, I prefer EV. It's Sunday now, I'm going to work, it's my event. I did an event with a property developer up there where they are the first property in Montiara to provide individual isolators for every owner. So every owner has minimum 2 parkings. So you have 1 isolator for you where you can buy and install your own EV charger on your bay. So all 400 plus owners can install their own EV charger. So we're doing an event today. I'm gonna park this EV there. I've arranged the Lotus Electra to be parked there as well. Wow, a Honda CR-V with a number 1 plate. This plate would easily cost, how many of these? 5, 8? I don't know. Oh, that's a Range Rover Sport, very good looking car. He got a bargain because he bought the previous generation. The current generation, for some reason, cost 1.7 million. In global markets, the Range Rover Sport is supposed to be the same price as a Volvo XC90 T8. The Volvo XC90 T8 in Malaysia is 420,000. Anyway, that's a regular Mini, which is still lovely. So, oh, that's an EV as well. Alright, so the car drives well. Let me show you the interior. I love the interior. I love the looks. Can you see me? I don't think that's the best angle. I think this is better. You can see me, right? You can see the seats. Yep. Look at the seats. The seats are beautiful. Some tartan patterns. Very British. But the color scheme is not the usual. Oh my god, it's gonna rain heavy. Alright, that's not bad. I'm not in sports mode, so it doesn't do the thing. But the Mini doesn't have a very high powered electric motor either. Alright, the suspension absorbs these notoriously bad roads. Yeah, this area is Bangsar. For those of you not from Malaysia or Kuala Lumpur, this is Bangsar, a very high-end neighborhood, but it has the worst roads ever. So DBKL, shame on you. Okay, this is how you present Malaysia to expats. Shame on you. Yep, that's Bangsar Shopping Centre, a very nice shopping centre. Yep, and I'm here. So yep, I like the car. I don't like the range. I'm not going to bring this to Genting and back. That's a pity. But it is what it is. The Europeans have to catch up with the Chinese with regards to how much range you get for how much money. Alright? So, yep. That's how it is. I'm going to park this car. Trying to park it in the most stylish manner, because it is an EV on display today here, and the Lotus Electra should be there, I hope. And yeah. Silence. Yep. There we go. Cheers. Good morning. Gonna send the kids to school in the Mini. Heavy traffic all the way to Shah Alam and back. Let's see how accurate the consumption is. Right? Oops. There we go. So I've changed the school of my kids to one in Shah Alam, and it's jam. All the way jam there, all the way jam back. So this type of traffic is perfect for EVs. And this is a lovely looking EV. See, the thing is this, Minis are cool, stylish cars. So not the most practical for long distance driving. I mean, they are not designed for long distance driving anyway. I mean, travel. If you have a Mini at home, you will not bring your Mini on a road trip to Thailand. You can, but with the family in, there's not a lot of luggage space. And if you have a Mini, none of your friends would ask you to fetch them to the airport because, oh, you can't fetch your friends and have luggage in them, right? So the premise of a Mini, be it whether it's a petrol combustion car or a diesel car, or if it is electric, is that it's not meant for you to fetch a lot of people, a lot of luggage. It's for your daily runabout to school and back, to groceries and all that. Which means it's perfect for being an EV. And it still looks like a Mini. Yeah. The steering is more rubbery compared to the regular Mini, but in a traffic jam, my biggest complaint is this LCD screen is not mounted centrally and straight. It is mounted slightly tilted and to the left. Bugs me all the time. Let's start it. Alright. There we go. So as you can see, it is showing 100 km here. I have a range of 100 km and it's about 60% now on the gauge. Okay, so the Mini doesn't have a huge range compared to other EVs of similar price. It can't even be compared to, of course it cannot be compared to Teslas and all that. Tesla at this price gives you 500 km. Alright, but let's accept it. The German car makers currently do not have the technology to cram as much battery into the price point that it can compete with the Chinese or Tesla. And Tesla can do so because it's made in China, and China can do so because Tesla arrived in China. Okay, the Japanese and the Europeans currently couldn't offer this type of range for this type of price. Just look at the Hyundai Ioniq, alright, or the Kia EV6. It has the kind of range where the Chinese EVs and Tesla can do 500 km, but they cost double. That is their biggest pain point now. To achieve 500, 600 km, they couldn't press the price down to the 200k mark. Around 200k mark or below 200,000 ringgit, they can only muster a battery size of 160 km, 180 km, that's about it. Whereas the Chinese and Tesla can do 400 km, 500 km. I would say the closest would be those European EVs in the range of 270, 280,000. They get about 400 km. Okay? But that's not the point. This is a Mini. This is cool. This is stylish. This is... Can you smile? Yeah, my son is so tall now. My wife have to take the back seat. Yeah. So I'm not gonna go through the interior because it is just like any Mini. I kind of like the seats. It's nice. And that's about it. Yep. And it's time Mini offers some power seats, okay? Because the cool factor of moving the seats with the manual lever is still probably cool 10 years ago. It's no longer cool now. Most of Minis appeal to ladies, and ladies with their nice manicured nails, they don't want to ruin it by pulling your levers, okay? Yep. So give them electric seats. The ladies would appreciate it, right? The engineers who create these levers for people to pull on them to move the seats should engineer them while they wear some fake manicured fingernails to understand how women feel when they are forced to do things that were designed by men while the product was supposed to appeal to ladies. Right? They got it the other way around. Anyway, those are small complaints. No faults with this car except this weirdly mounted LCD screen that is tilted and offset to the left. It's not centralized. How can a German do this? This is usually done by Italians. Anyway, can you smile? Okay, let's go. I'm gonna continue the video when we're getting nearer. It's just boring morning traffic, Monday traffic jam. Okay, that's a BYD Atto out front. 150,000, and then you get the kind of range that is 400 or 500 km, and it's also a much larger car. It's almost the size of the CX-5 in front. Yep, and that's why the German car makers are scrambling to China to sign deals with Chinese car makers to buy their platform to be used for them. You know how times have changed. Just a short 15 years ago, Chinese car makers are still going to Europe trying to get their expertise to help them improve their local cars, and now it's the other way around as we go into electric propulsion. Alright? Yep, nothing much to talk about. Stylish interior, comfortable cabin for me, not for the rear passengers. Small boot, expected. And yep, just gonna reiterate, Minis were created not for long distance driving, not for long road trips. Alright, you can't go to the airport to pick up a friend coming back from a holiday in your Mini because the boot is so small. So Minis were designed for grocery runs, school runs, go to the office and back. And when you're doing these, there's no difference if it is an ICE car or an electric car. Okay, traffic light green. Gonna go to the main road. See, look at electric cars. When I start the car at home, it has 100 km range, and now I still have 100 km range. But I've been driving for, I don't know, probably about 8 or 10 kilometers now. That's the thing. EVs do extremely well in traffic jam. They are the exact reverse of petrol combustion cars. Petrol combustion cars are highly inefficient in the traffic jam, and then they are efficient at high speeds. Whereas EVs are not efficient at high speeds, but extremely efficient in traffic jams. And since most of you out there are in traffic jams most of the time, to your office and home, it makes sense to go into this. Alright? Halfway there, we're heading to Shah Alam city center. What is love?
Stop.
It'll hurt me. We have arrived! 93 km. Yep. Okay, heading back. Now I have 94 km. Let's see when I reach home what kind of mileage I still have. Alright? Still couldn't find a way to change the regen. I want to reduce the regen, but the regen in a way helps to regen. Anyway, I am such an idiot. For 2 days I've been trying to look for the energy recovery, and I thought this one is to control the distance between me and the car in front. I thought it's for lane keep assist and automatic, this basically adaptive cruise control, which we automatically assume every electric car should have. But apparently this one doesn't. Cruise control cannot be activated because you're being a stingy ass. Electric cars, it's so easy to have, I don't know, I mean, of course if they don't want to mount the radars and all that, then you don't get, probably if it's a spec thing. So this car has the kind of cruise control that your 1994 Wira has, you know, yeah, which is, yeah. And I thought this is to control the cruise control, adaptive cruise control distance with the car in front, because that's how the logo looks like. Look at that. That's how the logo looks like. Apparently this is for low energy recovery. So this toggle is to toggle between very high energy recuperation or a smoother energy recuperation. Yeah. Silly me, but forgiven. I never would have thought there is a modern EV that doesn't have a simple adaptive cruise control. Yep. Anyway, let's jam our way back and look at the distance. There was a bit of a cruising just now, not even high speed, and then I can see it drop from 90 to 87 as we got going. Let's see when I reach home what kind of distance we're at. This morning when I roll off it's at 60%, now it's at 50%. Okay? Alright, it is 9:20 a.m. and we have reached home almost. I mean, another couple hundred meters. I'm now at 50% and 75 km range. To be honest, I'm very satisfied. So this has again proved that EVs are exceptionally effective and efficient in traffic jams. Okay, and I'm happy with this range in town traffic and all that. Alright, till we meet again. And the next generation Mini is all electric, 100% electric only. And that is a Boxer engine Subaru. Very nice. Cheers. Bye.